So I kind of wanted to go over something really important. Um, that if you don't have in like any business, then you're probably just gonna fail. Like it's very 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 important. So like I had a lot of friends that clicked on some of my videos, and I wanted to show something that I think could really help everybody that watches this. Um, and this is like business basics. So if you don't know this, and you might think you know this, and you might not actually know this, but I promise this is like probably one of the most important things that you can ever do. Um, like this is how I've been able to generate like 1 to 2 sales meetings like every single day, and how I've been able to optimize ads for all my clients. So I figured I'll go over exactly how to do this. That I didn't know somehow until my mentor taught me, um, which is just crazy because this is like literally just all you need for business. So let me go over it really quick. And some of you are gonna watch this and be like, "Oh, I already know this," and just if you know this, just click off the video. um, all right, let me draw it out so it looks cool. And then yeah, oh yeah, add some colors. All right, so this is what I'm going over. Some of you look at this and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I know exactly what that is." Obviously, but if you don't, then you need help learning because this is like business 101, crucial. Like, so this is a system, okay? This is the definition of a system: an input, a process, an output, and feedback. Okay, so you can bottle this down to any type of business. Like let me show marketing for example. So the goal with marketing, right, to take a random person on the internet or in person, throw them through a process, outputs a client, and then you get feedback from it. Okay, that's like the broader example. The more specific example for marketing, for me at least, for my clients, I drew one out last week. Um, so input random 20 to 55-year-olds on Facebook, men and women. Process would be a body copy and landing page. So exactly what they see on Facebook to get them to turn to someone that goes on the landing page. And the feedback is the click through rate, right? Because that's the chance that they on it. Um, and this feeds into another system that you can put under it. Like I drew it out because he wasn't getting good results for a little bit, and I was trying to figure out why. And it was so easy because I just had to look at my KPIs, right? Like I drew it out, and so I had a system that went down to the other system, and went down to another system. So I can, like, this is how it works. I'll give more examples in a second, but like, like I said, 20 to 55-year-olds, body copy, um, add picture, offer, turns into someone that goes on the landing page, and then this feedback around click through rate, and then this comes back around another system. People that are on the landing page, the process that it goes through the landing page and takes them to be able to make a booked appointment, and that right there is the, I guess, the appointment booking rate or the EBR as well. And the chance that that happens should be like 5 to 10%. Like with KPIs, key performance indicators, you can kind of, you probably shouldn't necessarily do this, but I did it and it worked really well. You can go on ChatGPT and look up a KPI for a certain step in a system, and it'll kind of give you pretty good parameters of what to look for. Um, like I changed this for my client, and I found the bottleneck, which obviously you probably know what that is, in one of these, and it was just the body copy and landing page because my click through rate was 0.7%, which is terrible. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to change that and change the picture and the body copy, and then all of a sudden it boosted to 2%. And I was getting him like 4 times more meetings just because of that. And it was like a full calendar after that. So, and then after that, after the book an appointment, it's another one where it's in a booked appointment. The process would be actions to take to get them to show up, and the output would be them showing up at the gym. And the feedback obviously would be the show up rate. So you can apply this to any business. I wish I knew this, so I'm just gonna put this on here for any friends or anybody that's watching this channel. Like for example, my window cleaning business. I didn't do this and I didn't know this stuff then because I didn't have a mentor, and so like I got lucky in the way that it worked, and I knew it worked only just because of YouTube. But if I had, you know, it's impossible to scale something if you don't do this because you don't know. And obviously, first off, when doing marketing or any system building and you have metrics, obviously all the metrics aren't like solidified until there's enough of them done. Like for example, I'm not gonna know if the show up rate is actually 60 to 80% unless it's been like there's been like 90 to 200 people that have done that. Like you need enough efficacy and like how many people do something to see if it's a valid metric or not. But there's no like random force. There's no like luck. There's no, force working against you. Like this is just numbers, right? Like that's why one of my friends gets shocked when like he gets called by these random insurance things and whatnot. But it's like, and he's like, how can they make any money off of that? I would never do that. It's like probably once every 100 or 200 calls they make a like $600 deal, and it's like those are just metrics, So that's why they do it. But so for example, with window cleaning, my input would be random people on the street that I would walk up to, like the door to door type of thing. Process would be my sales script, and my method of knocking on the door. I could bottle this down to even more specific. Random person on the street, the type of knock I do on the door to get them to open the door. And the feedback would be the amount of times they open the door out of the times they don't. And I didn't track any of this. And that's why I stopped doing the window cleaning, because it wasn't a scalable business. So it's just pointless. You know what I mean? Like, sure, you'll make some cash, and that's great, but I'm not in it for the cash. So, but if you keep doing this, so open door, sales process, so script, speech, output, paying customer. Okay. If they don't pay on the spot, which they don't, promised paid customer, then that's your close rate technically, and then you could take a close rate, your cleaning, and then the chance that they pay, which hopefully is 100% because this shouldn't like deviate from that, obviously. But if you go ahead, take whatever business you're doing, draw this out, look up the KPIs for like what those feedback metrics should actually be. You should really start to optimize. And also, one thing to keep in mind, there's actually a word for this. I'm actually going to go ahead and look for it just because. Let's see if I can find it. But there is a word that means to only change one thing at once, and I like the word because it helps me remember it. Let's see if I can find it. It is called let's see. I might not be able to find it, but besides the point, just basically when you do this stuff though and you optimize, like, okay, so if this was my situation, which it was for one of my clients, and let's say two metrics were bad in the system, you can't change both of them at once because then you don't know what helped what. Like, you have to change one thing at one time, and that is really hard for some people because when I started out, I wanted to just change everything. When I started out with one of my first client, like a few months ago, like a little while ago, excuse me, his ads weren't doing great. And I was changing random shit at like multiple things at once just to see if I could fix it. And like obviously I fixed it because I got lucky, but I had no idea why. Like, so this is the most important thing. Like, a lot of my friends have car businesses and like all these things, and it's like you need to figure out how to systemize that. Otherwise, you just will never scale it. Like, sure, you'll make 1K every few weeks or 2K every few weeks. And it's like, great. Now, how are you going to get to 10K or 100K per month? Like, you know what I mean? So you have to scale this stuff up. And it works perfectly every time. Like, it honestly blows my mind. You just have to think in systems. This is what all companies do. This is why all companies have metrics for everything they do. But a lot of smaller businesses and entrepreneurs don't know any of this. So I don't know why class would not go over this. This is like the first step, the 101 of building a business. I can't believe I didn't know until probably about 6 months ago. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. But the point is, yeah, like with that car business. Actually, let me see if I can systemize it. So input, I'm guessing it's people on Facebook that are selling a car. Process, what you say to them to get them to sell it for a lower cost. The output, getting the car. The feedback, what would that be, like a purchase rate or something? PR, I don't know. And then the input would be fixing the car or taking a car. The process would be fixing the car, and that would be a fixed car. And the feedback could be a fixed rate, or you could do that with a time basis. Input after that would be car, or you could take random human. Process would be the car and the actual sales process. The output would be the sold car, and the feedback would be the close rate. So it's like, if you can optimize for systems like that, and these can get way more complicated too. Like, I don't edit these videos, so I'm not gonna try to, put a picture on screen or anything, but I can actually show you. No, I'll just edit it on screen. But the point is, like, I have a system for client acquisition for my marketing, and it's like, I can count right now. There's one. Okay, first of all, it's one big system, and inside of that big system, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 systems, all with their own metrics to get someone from going to a random human to my paying client. And this is all figured out. All the KPIs are set, all of them are met, everything is just good. So I have meetings, and then I have, like, you probably don't care to hear this, but like, it goes latent conditions, process, attention, process, interest. It goes interest, process, appointment. It goes appointment, process, show. It goes show, process, prime prospect. It goes prime prospect, process, close deal, and there's feedback for every single one of those. And that's how I can scale what I'm doing. Obviously I'm limited by me, and that's why I have people I hire out to make sure I can get all this stuff done, obviously. And then at the end of the day, the feedback would just be like human to client rate. So like, you could kind of see over enough trials, over like probably 30 to 300 humans, or 30 to 300 clients, you can see like out of how many humans you show what you're doing, how many become paying clients, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, I just want to go over that. That's really, really important. If you don't do that, you're gonna fail. I'm sorry, it's just true. Like, yeah, you can go door to door, knock on some doors, get a few $1,000, but like, you will never make more than $10,000 a month without this. So I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video. Probably just systems thinking. And I didn't learn any of this from myself. I learned all from a mentor. So get a mentor too, because that'll save you hours. All right, that's all I got.